Hello, I wanted to talk about my experience with Emily and my Akashic Records reading. First of all, it was incredible, and she opened my mind to so many things about me and my calling and my personality that I could tune into and tap into. One of the main things that she uncovered for me is that a lot of the goals I've been setting have been very safe, and that I haven't been really stretching my mindset to think about the ultimate like scary goals, because a lot of the times I will put up a safe goal that I know is achievable, and that gets me even right underneath that. So I was able to really think outside of the box. I started really thinking beyond what I thought was possible with my goals, and I've been doing this in every step of my life, and it's helping things really quickly propel into becoming a reality. So many things have become possible just because I was able to stretch my mindset beyond what I think is possible. But the main thing that has changed for me is I'm able to really manifest things a lot quicker, and things have been just rapidly happening in that way. So Emily is insanely talented. She will zone right in with you and help you really identify the things that are holding you back.
All right, can you hear me now? Glenn, God bless you for letting me know that there's no sound in my videos. Can you all hear me now? I totally unplugged that mic. That mic foiled me last time I was here in my home studio. All right, take two, as they say. Welcome to Akashic Answers with Emily. Yep. You hear me now. You hear me now. All right. Yeah. Man, I don't like it when my broadcasts start like that. All right. So you see me work through my triggers right now, live. All right. So what I was saying when I was watching the opening, Caitlin sharing about her experience in the Akashic Records, I was getting all pumped up about playing big. And the invitation that we have to play big right now, how exciting life can get when we do tap into that flow, that stream of consciousness that guides our highest timeline. That's what happened to Caitlin working in her Akashic Records. And that's what's happening to y'all too. By the way, you're getting that frequency of your Akashic Records when you come into this space. This is one of the most valuable times in my week, is being able to show up and share this space with you. And also a promise of this work, a promise of spending time in the frequency of your Akash, is that your bandwidth will increase, your vibration will raise. There is a cumulative effect. So every time you come back here into this space, you're getting more and more exponential growth. So thanks for being here. I see Gregory in the house. And of course, Glenn saving the day today so that we all can hear here together. And yes, Green Feather Collective, you figured out where to ask questions. Your questions make an amazing show, Glenn. I see your question here today. I'm going to get to that. So thank you all for coming with your open hearts, your vulnerabilities, your curiosity about how you get to step into life more dynamically and play a different game with this matrix that we're playing with here. All right. So thank you for being here. Light up my chat box with your questions. It is my privilege and honor to serve you all and to tap into the field of the Akash, and also to hold this frequency where we all get to tap into our Akashic records and this soul level wisdom, guidance, and clarity at a higher level. Okay, so if you're new to the Akashic Records, here's the field you wandered into today, y'all. The Akashic Records are the realm of consciousness that hold all intelligence, past, present, all possible futures, and is recorded from a neutral perspective. Neutral means unconditional love and zero judgment. We all have the ability to tap into this space when we become a vibrational match to unconditional love and zero judgment. And once we do, we can tap in, ask questions, and get soul level wisdom, guidance, and clarity about every step of our life. When I discovered how to read the Akashic Records, I went from being depressed and overwhelmed. Actually, I was simultaneously overwhelmed and underwhelmed, by the way. I was overwhelmed in my life because I was a Hollywood actress, along with being a young mom, had 3 kids. Also had challenges in my marriage that I didn't know how to show up in me, didn't know how to communicate through. And life, even though my life looked really cool on the outside, and it was really cool being an actor, there were super cool parts about that. There were parts of it that I felt completely overwhelmed with my life. I was on depression medication, anti-anxiety medication. I was all over the place, y'all. And the only time when I truly felt grounded and centered was when I was meditating. So I decided to take that further, which is what ultimately led me into the space of the Akashic Records. Okay, I'll say that I was underwhelmed with life, and some of you might be able to relate to this as well. I was underwhelmed because I had put small town girl from Missouri. I quit college. I left all my life in Missouri to make it in Hollywood. So I basically put all of my eggs in this basket, and I was slowly making it, but very disillusioned with the whole thing. And I remember when I would get jobs and I would be on set, my ass would be up at 4 o'clock in the morning, driving to set. Get there, you go through hair and makeup, then you're sitting in your own trailer by yourself, very lonely, waiting for your turn to go perform on this set that's full of people that you don't know, that I didn't know. And then it was so much on the nervous system, so taxing on the nervous system. I thought, this is some bullshit. Where are the red carpets, man? It didn't meet my expectations in terms of the glamour that I thought. And I thought, man, if people really knew the behind the scenes of what it looks like. And I feel like our lives as humans are so similar. And I just want to invite and invoke forward an intelligence, a wisdom, a remembrance of how truly special it is to be here. Y'all, I was watching Avatar recently, and the moment when Jake Sully, remember the lead character, he's in a wheelchair, he doesn't have access to his legs. He goes into this altered reality. And when he can run again for the first time and he feels his feet on the ground, it gave me a glimpse. It took me back to how amazing it is to be human and to be here. And to be here right now when we are creating together. We're creating the new earth. Y'all are playing such an important role. All right, so I just call on that invocation from the records that we all may remember more of our unique purpose here on the planet. And create the space to get still, to really hear our soul. All right, so I'm going to get to questions in just a second. I'm also going to tell y'all at the end of the broadcast how you can read your Akashic Records too. And I'm going to take us into some of the insight the Akashic Records have been sharing with me this week. All right, my life is shifting and changing fast right now. I know you all are experiencing we're all experiencing the same energies. It's just, how are we using them? How are we harnessing them? How are we creating with them? Okay, I'm really aware and taking the invitation right now to harness these energies, to work through my own limiting. I still have limiting thoughts about myself that come up. And so I'm leaning in and I'm working with one big thing right now is artistically trusting myself. Okay, I'm in a big creation spurt in my life right now, and an identity shift. Okay, an identity shift into more self-expression and authenticity on who I am. And for a long time, I was both happy and sad to leave Hollywood behind. There was a part of me that was relieved to have a new vision that was so much that excited me as much as Hollywood did. And of course, part of me felt like, happy to get away from just like all of that bullshit and just like wanting to completely shut it down. Oh, that's what I just said. Apparently I was really happy to get away from it. And y'all know me around here. And if you don't, by the way, hi, I'm Emily Harrison, founder, director of the Akashic Academy. And you know that part my artistic soul and the playful fun side of me has always been here, and it's coming forward in a new expression lately. And that looks like doing some stand-up comedy, which, by the way, this is really freaking cool, y'all. I got booked to open Contact in the Desert with some comedy. So I've been working on my comedy set, right? If you all would love to come to that show, by the way, I have a link here in the comments, and we'll put that link I'll go back, circle back, and put that link in the description for y'all too. If you are in the Palm Desert area and you want to come join us. All right. That, in addition with working on my docu-series and wanting to pull forward this really creative, beautiful, inviting story of exploring our soul truth and activating our DNA within the vortexes of the planet. Oh, I just get so inspired and excited. And it's truly innovative work. There's no one else in our industry who are putting all these pieces together and just getting out there and letting it rip. So I feel raw and vulnerable out there, and I question myself as I go through this. And so for me, slowing down, dropping in, hearing the truth of my soul, not the truth of all of the noise that's out there. There's so much noise out there. Okay, and some of y'all may be working with your identity and shifts and changes in your life just by learning to choose your own frequency and not be under subject to the distortion of the outside world. We're all at different places along our evolutionary journey, although waking up and seeing ourselves and seeing our patterns, being present to what is the work that we're all being invited to do right now. Okay, so wherever you are in your soul's journey, in your own transformation into the 5D version of you, because that's what we're all doing. We're bringing about the 5D through our own transformational experience, and we each get to decide what that looks like. As we begin to slow down and drop in, you won't vibrate on the speed of the noise anymore. Okay? This is you getting to control your own vibration right now. So everybody slow down, take some nice deep breaths with me. Drop in, get more present. Good stuff. You guys, the veils are so thin right now. Meaning when we get still, your ability to hear, see, feel, perceive what is available for you in terms of resource, goodness, positive perception and reflection, it's all right here. So I just want you to drop into the goodness and the richness that you can perceive that's available for you right now. This is like counting our blessings, okay? Get aware, get in presence, in relationship with. Not just in your mind, feel it in your body. What you're grateful for, what's going right for you. What do you love about your life? Okay, so we're already starting to cultivate that vibrational frequency. Now I want you to activate your crystalline tube of light, drop it into the core of Mother Earth, extend it out the top of your head, anchor it into the field of the Akash, the ether, the all that is. And we are invoking a crystalline technology, a plasma technology, which means that it is under the directive of your intention. Ooh, just felt the whole dimensional frequency shift. My ears popped. Okay, so when you activate this flow of energy, this intelligence, what you're doing is you're pulling the embodiment energy of Mother Earth up. Mother Earth is Goddess Sophia. She is so fully embodied in her Christic consciousness energy. She incarnated as a physical planet. Okay, our bodies, when we attune them, and that's what we're doing right now, are in harmonic resonance with Mother Earth. Activate the divine blueprint of Mother Earth. Her perfect balance, her abundance, her authority, her presence, her creation. Good. And as you are activating the Akash, the intelligence that spirals down, this is the wisdom of your soul that will illuminate coherent thoughts, emotions, perceptions, and actions, compelled actions that are in alignment with your highest potential in this lifetime, in this now moment. Okay, so just become aware of that frequency that's running through you, that's shifting you, that's changing you right now, that's activating your DNA, and just be present with it. Okay, I want to take you one state deeper into the field. I want you to imagine your consciousness up here in the monkey mind. Imagine your consciousness. Your consciousness is your ability to perceive. Your consciousness is your awareness of your connection to the world around you. Drop that from the monkey mind into the heart. Your energy is completely under your directive right now. Dropping that energy into the heart, activating the heart mind. All right, I'm going to go ahead and take you guys through the rest of the process. Okay, we're going to sound the 5 sacred ohms and open the Akashic Records together today. Ohm is a vibrational frequency that will allow you to receive communication and transmission in your whole body. And the invocation of these 5 ohms will create feedback loops with the universe, with the field, that will open you to receive the highest forms of intelligence. Okay? With this ohm, I relax my body. I want you to say that with me. And then we're going to ohm. With this ohm, I relax my mind. With this ohm, I release my ego. With this ohm, I call in the light. With this ohm, I open the Akashic Records of Emily Suzanne Harrison. Y'all open your own records. Say your own name, okay? The records are now open. Well, welcome to a very sacred space, y'all. By the way, I do not open the records every week unless the guides tell me to. I did not know they were going to open them this week. How y'all feel? Ooh. Welcome. All right, well, so long as we're here, let's just keep doing the work. I want to hold the space, hold this frequency open for everyone to practice. You can get your own answers today. And of course, I want to channel for you. So if you have questions that you want me to ask and get insight from the guides, type them in the comments. Good, Gregory feels awesome. I love that. And hello, Sunny Moon. I'm glad to see you here today. And let's just ask a simple question. Okay. What does my soul most want me to hear? What does my soul most want me to hear? And notice the first thing that comes up for you. First thing, just practice getting the first thing. Okay. And I want to also share with you that the universe speaks in symbolism. Okay. So the first thing that I heard was the bird singing. And so once you get that first thing, ask yourself, what does that mean to me? And for me, what comes into my field is bird song is so special. It's an encounter with the natural world that adjusts our frequency. So I get really excited that I just get to relax, tune into that song, listen to it as closely as possible, right? And then notice what comes up into my field in my thoughts next. So that's how I play with the energy. Would love to know what y'all are experiencing and what your soul wants you to hear. I also want to channel in some insight on what, I'll tap into the soul of Mother Earth here and see what she wants all of us to hear. All right, I do want to notice though, Green Faith Collection says, my question disappeared. Please type it in again. And I too left questions here just to see if it would work, and my questions didn't show up either. So I am not 100% sure where our questions are going and how and why they are disappearing into cyberspace. Although, type them in again. That's all I'll say to you guys. Type them in again, please. And thank you for your patience. Yep, just keep asking. Just keep asking, keep asking. All right. So let's see. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, I know what I was going to say. I know. I wanted to tap in and see what the soul of Mother Earth wants us to most hear right now. One, I just feel her gratitude and gratitude of us acknowledging the connection that we are in vibrational harmony and coherence with the Great Mother. And she just wants to invite us to sit more and receive more of that frequency right now. I don't know how available that is to you all. I'd love to know. So that's what I mean by that is when I say sit in that frequency, that harmonic resonance of being held by the Great Mother, how quickly can you feel that and surrender to that and notice that? How available is it to you? Okay, I'm just going to ask the guides to turn up the frequency so it becomes more available to you. More availability, more, turn it up more, more, more. Good. I also want to turn up the frequency of that light, that divine light of our soul that illuminates right thought within us. So here's what I mean by that. I mean thoughts that are in coherence with our highest potentiality. Okay. You got big dreams, big goals, an amazing, peaceful, abundant, joyful life that you want to live. Are you thinking thoughts that add up to that life? Are you thinking thoughts that are big enough to support your vision, you big visionaries out there? And turn up that light of the soul intelligence, so that we may see more through that lens. Good, holding all of that. I can feel the energy. It feels like it's bubbling up, spiraling up. Just be aware of it. The more we hold our awareness on it, oops, third eye's blinking, the more we activate this energy. Okay, there's one more question that wants to come in, that wants to be perceived through this collective, sacred, illuminated, and enlightened space. The guides also want you to know that as you participate in the thinking of this question, the thinking of the answer, you are helping to bring coherence and to consecrate the most positive, the highest timeline for humanity. Okay? The question is, what if you are who you think you are? Then what? Then what do you get to experience? What does your family get to experience? What does the world get to experience? Okay, keep holding it. Keep perceiving this. We are in a high level of creation for ourselves and the planet right now, guys. Woo! Hold it. Hold it. Hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice job. All right, we're going to close up the Akashic Records. There's so much energy moving through. Woo! I'm going to close up the records, my own records. If you want to keep y'all's records open right now, go ahead and do it. I'm going to formally close mine, which is going to allow me to tap in more precisely for each one of you. And I'm not going to go through the whole oming to tap in. I'm just going to just like that. I probably won't make the noises. That'll probably be the only time you get to hear the sound effects. I don't know. Maybe I'll try into each one of them for you. If you're having fun, let me know if you're having fun hanging out here with me. Send some love likes, hearts across the screen. You know, I'm a former actress. I like to pause for a little applause every now and then. And furthermore, like I literally sit here and talk to my computer as if we're all hanging out in the same room for, I don't know, 30 minutes to an hour at least. Y'all, it's kind of weird when I jump out and take the 80,000 foot view of myself sitting in my office. Oh, yeah, closing the records. Okay, by the way, it is nice to formally close your records. I train this as good hygiene for my students when they're in the Akashic Records. I'll tell you why. One, you can get an overflow of information in there and just like freaking fry all your bandwidth. It's like being on Chat GPT too long when you're on a good strain and you just fry. So you want to be mindful of how much time you spend in the frequency of your records. We don't need a lot, really. The more time we spend in there, like I said, it's cumulative. And what begins to happen as you train in this and you initiate in this work, you'll learn that you hold the frequency more dynamically all the time without the ceremonial ritual going into the records, which, by the way, if you're joining us late, we did today. And we don't always do. So you guys got something special today. It's cool. Here's also why you want to close them using this method. Because you took in a whole freaking bunch of bandwidth and activation, a bunch of intelligence that will upload into your field for at least the next 12 to 24 hours, most of you 48 hours, and sometimes even longer. Okay, I tell people 90% of what happens in the Akashic Records happens after you close them and exit, because that's where you notice how you subtly change, how you perceive things differently, you feel differently. Okay, it's freaking powerful and it's very subtle. If you're not calm and still enough, like we got ourselves before we came in, you'll totally miss it. That's the nuance of how we work. Okay, and like I said, because your body's taken on so much bandwidth, here's how my guides have created a closing of the records. Hands in prayer pose. You're opening up energy. All the circuitry is going. When you put slight pressure against left and right palm, what you're doing is you're also creating balance between the left and right hemispheres of your brain, masculine, feminine, logic, intuition. That will help you upload whatever you got, whatever came in for you. It's going to help you upload it in the most balanced way. Okay. And then you also want your thumbs touching each other, completing circuitry, and then touching the heart, completing circuitry. Okay. We give thanks. You want to give thanks for all knowledge and healing that comes forward in this space. That's one part. Thank you, yo. If you're not grateful, your ass might not get good information next time you go, you know? And then the other piece is, this is a really cool way to honor this wisdom and intelligence, is that the hive mentality, guys. So once one bee in the hive learns something, it instantly becomes available for all the other bees through that hive consciousness. We want to give thanks for all knowledge and healing that comes forward in this space, as well as acknowledge the frequency of oneness. Okay, that means any aha moments that we've gotten that have helped and supported us, we make that available to the collective. Okay, and then we give one final Om. That puts that transmission out there for us in the collective, and close the records with one final Om, closing the Akashic Records. The record do not close. Oh, doggy, that was fun. All right. Okay. Let me come back into my body here. Let's tap into some of your all's questions. All righty. Green feather. Yes, you finally figured out where to put your question, but then it disappeared. Bridget, I just looked, you know what? I just noticed that. I'm like, as I looked closer, I'm like, oh, that's my girl, Bridget. Actually, Bridget, I think your question was one that I copied and pasted and put over here. And I don't see that one either. All right. Well, leveling up means my husband gets left behind. Am I supposed to be teaching kids mindful practices, and what ways can I further cultivate this? So, Bridget, by the way, you're so fun to watch as you're stepping into your soul purpose. I mean, Bridget and I are friends on Facebook, and I'm getting to see behind the scenes her up level, and it's really fun. So if y'all want to follow her, go follow her. Okay, so I totally felt that when I saw the post that you did about being with the kids under that pavilion. I'm like, oh yeah, just like every part of me was a hell's yes. You'll learn through experience. Let the experience in and of itself teach you. Okay. And the most important thing that we can ever do is listen. Right. So listening to the kids and letting the kids, I'm just going to riff on what's coming up here for me, B. So what's coming up into my field is a really interesting kind of education that my kids had for a while until that timeline collapsed and shit. So the reason that we left Los Angeles and moved to Reno was because the kid's dad got a job at a school called Tahoe Expedition Academy, and T for short. And this is a unique kind of school. So you guys are, you definitely heard of public school and private school and homeschool and probably Montessori school and Waldorf school and all damn kinds of schools. All right. The reason they're all damn kinds of schools is because we need new forms of education on the planet. That's part of this new earth, this uprising that we're seeing here on, chills from my whole body. Oh, major chills. Y'all are playing big parts in this. Thank you for being here. Bridget, you're playing a big part. Give Bridget a round, everybody. And what that looks like is that we have to innovate. We have to make it up ourselves, basically, what this new paradigm looks like. But back to the Expedition Academy. So what they did was they really tuned into the students and would ask the students, what are you guys interested in learning about? And the passion of the kids led the course of where the education, the instruction went. The really cool thing about this Expedition Academy was 90% of their learning happened outside of the classroom. So basically they would pick what they wanted to study. They'd let the kids pick. Then let's say we're doing immigration, right? The kids learn socioeconomic aspects of immigration. Then they pack them up and they take them to Tijuana to interview Border Patrol and families who have immigrated. Makes me emotional. Then they wake these kids up in the middle of the night and take them on a 10-mile dark and silent hike. You see why it makes me emotional? So they can experience what that is. And then they bring the kids back to tell the story of what they learned. Okay. So that's what's coming into Bridge. If anything in that inspires you, it was a really inspired way of learning. And I think could be implemented more. And thank you for the work and how you're showing up. Okay. Does Hubs get left behind? First thing I minded, and it was good. It was time for that relationship to shift. And it was hard because we did not have to talk about paradigm structures, systems that we need. We did not have a way to break up without violence. And there wasn't a lot of physical violence in our relationship, although there were times when there were some times when some shit went down. And I will definitely take my responsibility in the shit that went down. And that's all I'm going to talk about, that just to protect everybody involved. And I also want to be my kids saw this shit. I mean, I'm really, I say it to share that, I don't want to keep veils up. I like to be very transparent and share, I've been through some shit, and also be mindful to protect the privacy of my family and the people involved. Hey, as it is emotionally violent though, I turned violence against myself on it because I was so fucking angry, and hurt, and it's just lots of chaos that it triggered. So that's one thing that I'm still moving through. We're still trying to move that. Well, I don't know if he is. He don't talk to him that much. We just need space and peace. Although I have a desire in my soul to make peace, so that truly there isn't anything. None of us are left behind in that. Although the dissolution of my family, what it did to me, my kids, the whole thing. For me, it also is a replay of the Lemurian Atlantis timeline where we lost a civilization. And I think so many of us who are incarnating right now from Atlantis, that's actually a freaking joke that I wrote for Contact in the Desert. Well, I have two sets that came through, and I'm going to go with the funnier set. It's my first joke. But the non-funnier set, there was a pretty good joke in there about Atlantis when people go into the records. Everybody from Atlantis. Atlantis is more like a spiritual alumni association now. Right? There's probably going to be a panel from the Atlanteans. The Atlanteans and Lemurians, we lost a civilization, and many of us are showing up repeating the same themes of that timeline right now in our own personal lives. And so that keeps me in alignment, in a high level of authenticity and integrity with my own shit. Because that's really the only place where I have any control of creating any more peace on the planet is by dealing with my own self, right? So I would say, Bridge, that the outcome is that's still uncertain. It's up to you guys. Your souls get to choose what the best outcome is for you. And I do see a lot of, I'd say I've seen a fair number of both. I've seen a fair number of breakups and a fair numbers of we figured our shit out and we stayed together. So calling forward, I'll just call forward now the most benevolent timeline for both of your souls and the wisdom that will guide you on those paths. And I call that forward and affirm and confirm and witness that is flowing in the field now. Aho. There's some, I said I'd make some funny noises for y'all to tap into your records. All right. Send some love, likes, hearts across the screen if that was supportive. Oh, let me bring in an activation too. Let's see what activation the guides want to bring in. And then Glenn, I'm going to get to your question and we're going to keep rolling with questions. Let's see what activations. Oh, courage to know the truth. Booyah. Anybody want that? If you want some courage to know the truth in your life, which this is cool, because the courage to know the truth of who we are, right? And to really perceive the answer to that question, what if I am who I think I am? Which, by the way, if you're coming in late, y'all asses missed it. The guys wanted the records open, so we opened the records. We posed that question, and y'all got flowed with the downloads of it. So if you missed it, make sure you go back and catch the replay. All right. So in order to align, first of all, to have that revelation, and then definitely to align to that timeline of your highest potentiality, we also need courage to see the truth of where we're out of alignment and where we're playing small. And I promise you, it's part of our human, the incarnation, the experience here. There's massive distortion in the field. Stress, not enough sleep, not eating enough good foods, your old healing wounds that come up, like all of us have it. Don't pretend like you ain't out of coherence. We all out of it somewhere. That's part of the mastery, is checking in with ourselves all the time and holding ourselves at a high level of accountability, balanced with radical self-acceptance. Okay, so the guides want to bring in an activation, courage to know the truth of who we are, both the shadow and the light. I'm using my tuning fork right here. This is actually calibrated to the ohm frequency, so it will open your field to receive transmissions from MetaVibe. If you would like to experience this by proxy, I'm going through puberty, don't mind me. We all kind of are, by the way. And go figure, there's a burp. There's that shaman energy. Anytime burp, you yawn, your belly growls. I don't pass gas, but if y'all do, that's what she said. I'm the lady, you know. And the body is giving us constant feedback. So you want to pay attention to that. All right. So this is a powerful activation coming in. Courage to know the truth of who we are through the eyes of the divine. You can say yes now. Receive that in your solar plexus. Whoo, this is a powerful activation. I can not only feel it resonating throughout my whole body, but I hear my voice echoing in my head differently. And the wind's blowing outside. So that's another cool way that I have been reading the records myself. Your body has a copy of the records in it. The field has a copy of the records in it. So if you just notice like what's moving around you in your environment too, that will give you some clues. All right, good stuff. Let's keep playing. Come on, show Glenn's question. Okay, Glenn, if I could ask my higher self on one of my guides why my nose gets so itchy every once in a while, other than, oh, wait, I gotta read, where can I read the rest of your question? Other than the air, other than the air sucks, and that's the end of it. Yeah, okay, Glenn, boom, that's your body getting your attention. It's the Akashic Records speaking to you through the itchy nose, and what's weird is mine's itching like crazy right now. I think I might have just like one little hair on it. Ooh, itchy like crazy. Anybody else's nose start itching when we talked about that? Oops, hang on. Get yourself together, Ann. You got this. You do lives every week, girl. You good? Okay, yeah. So, Glenn, that's your body talking to you. So notice what you're thinking during those times. Let that be a signal to slow down and be like, hey, what am I thinking about right now? What meaning does that have for me? Okay, and cool. I love that. I love that you're getting signs from the field. Okay, let me find the next question. Sebastian, what is next for me? I know this is vague, but being open to whatever. Yeah, it's vague, although I'm going to answer for you. Although, and, yes, and. I'll encourage you guys, the more specific of questions you ask, the more specific the guides can be with us. And yeah. Okay, that's all I want to say. Let me type in, see what's there. Sebastian Jean Felix, what is next for me? Okay. So the immediate answer that I got was a nap and some hydration for you. That's kind of funny too, because that's another one of the non-funnier jokes that I wrote. Was just about how the guides they show up like therapists. I'm like, come on, let's get around to soul purpose. They're like, no, you hydrate, rest, heal your nervous system. All right, so those were the instantaneous things that I saw, and I'll offer that to you as maybe that's something that you were planning on doing. Like after this, maybe you can take a nap. Maybe maybe you just got yourself a fresh glass of water. And then when I continued to sit in that space and investigate further, there was energy around the dreamscape. And I don't know if it was referring to a dream that you're going to have, maybe a dream that you've had recently, or a dream like I dream of being on Joe Rogan's podcast, a dream like that. But that's the next phase. The invitation for you to lean in is to that dreamscape, that dream space. Okay. Ooh, and the guides want to definitely bring forward that activation for all of us right now. Ooh, interesting. They want to work in the higher chakras, the higher realms, to open up our access to bigger dreams. All right, so we're going to be working in the soul star chakra right now. Soul star is, okay, so if you go 12 to 18 inches outside of your head, that's your crown chakra. Crown is where you process your relationship to God. And then about 12 to 18 inches above your crown chakra is where your soul star chakra is. That's the one we're working with today. That's also your connection point to the Akashic Records. So kind of not surprised that we're, oh, I thought I heard my kid's voice. London's here. So we're going to work in the soul star, opening up our ability to perceive bigger dreams. I am now open and available to receive dreams from my higher self. And so it is. That's a great mantra to repeat if you really want to experience that activation. That's a great mantra to repeat. I am open and willing to experience my dreams. And when you say it out loud, you are invoking your God, goddess, nature, speaking, whether you believe in the Big Bang or God spoke the universe into existence. Sound is what brings it into the field. So I encourage you to use that. Cool. Okay, let's get some more questions. I know I had some more in here. In the meantime, send some love likes, hearts across the screen if you are enjoying today. Ooh, feeling Bridges' hubby question. So annoyed by my husband not being his authentic self. Okay, so let's see what I want to. Okay. You know, I talked earlier about protecting the innocent, and I definitely like signing up to be in soul contract with me and hanging out with me in my life, man. I teach through my own experience. All right. So I'll share with you guys right now. You see me all like giggling and wiggling around. I don't think I've talked on air at all about my friend, my current friend. Maybe I'm not ready to because my face is getting really red. Okay. And I was just sharing and reflect. Look, I'm like totally like grounded myself in on this one. And it's probably going to be a bit of a letdown. I'm just, okay, let me just get myself together. Okay. And I was sharing this with one of my VIP clients, and we were talking about relationships, and we were talking about in the realm through the perspective of seduction and seducing the life that we want. And I had mentioned that I had noticed with like my friend, sometimes I get irritated and annoyed. And I can also notice that I'll have a trauma response to that. They're just like instant disconnection. Okay. And I'll also notice the cool thing is that I can notice it's a trauma response. It's a trauma response in me. Okay. And so then as I further break that down to recognize like what's really happening, the behavior that's coming up in him, I can very clearly see it's coming from a really deep wound and an operating system that my beloved took on to protect the damn self. And I get it. It makes sense. Doesn't mean that I enjoy it when it comes up and hangs out with me. And I definitely have space for it. I can also recognize that why I'm irritated is because it's triggering something unhealed within me. And I know exactly what it is. Again, because I do this work and I read my records. And what it triggers in me is rejection wound, which I've worked so much on. Rarely do I feel it because I worked with the rejection energy for like every day for 20 years in Hollywood. I got freaking good at it. It doesn't really stop me too much to think what are other people going to think about me or what if I'll get rejected. It doesn't. Although in this situation, I felt like I was taking it personally, like, oh, well, he doesn't like me or doesn't like my ideas. And I'm like, okay, well, the best way not to trigger that is just like not to don't participate. And it's taken me a couple times to get irritated and to pull back and then to see myself and then and they're like, yeah, no, I don't have to do that. It's the same. It's that, adage that I talk about a lot of times. You walk down the street, you fall in the hole. You walk down the street, you fall in a hole. You walk down the street, you see it. You walk in it, you see it, you walk around it. It's not till like 5 walks later that you walk around the damn hole. Okay. So that's what it looks like. And also, ding, 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 courage to know the truth. This is a great example of courage to know the truth. Okay. Sherry said, didn't mean to eat you off last year. You did, dude. And that's thank you for thank you for just playing at that level. It's beautiful to embrace all of who we are as humans. And even though I do this work and I do share really raw, vulnerable information all the time, sometimes I do tend to overshare. Even though I've been on camera for the last freaking 30 years of my life, I still my nervous system, the distortion of the field. Here it is, y'all. This is what it looks like. All right. I love you guys. Let me make sure that I didn't miss any questions this week. If I did, I apologize. I feel like I've gone through every single one that I see here on the screen. I do tend to notice when I go back on YouTube and look at these that, I did tend to miss a few. Oh, before we go, raw. I'm so excited about this. You know how creative I love to be. I finished a super duper cool experience that I've created for every single one of you to tap into the field of the Akash to enhance your intuition. Okay. I want to share with you, okay, it's micro content. Everybody macro dosing, micro. Everybody want micro. In under 2 minutes per video. There are a couple of videos. Of course, I made a couple videos, okay? But in under 2 minutes, you're going to get your perspective flipped and you're going to get to tap in to your higher self and you get an insight from your higher self in every single experience. Okay, so let me just show y'all. Let me go to screen share. I rigged this up. Hang on. Okay, watch with me. You don't have a clarity problem. You have an access problem. Because let's face it, there are moments when you know exactly what to do, and then it's just gone. I'm Emily. This is the Akashic Academy, training ground for people who know they're meant for more. You're not missing answers. You just have not been taught how to receive them. The Akashic Records is not about getting answers outside of yourself. It's about learning how to tap into an intelligence
that operates beyond overthinking. Let me give you an example. I was working with a client who went back and forth for weeks on which offer to launch. She looked at notes, spreadsheets, asked everyone she knew, and then she paused. She dropped in, she asked one question. The answer came through in about 5 seconds. She launched the offer and it became her highest converting offer ever. So do you want to try it? I want you to think about one question that you're stuck on. Okay? Take a deep breath with me. Let's drop in and ask yourself, what's the next step I need to take to get unstuck? And right there, notice the first answer that comes in. Not the edited version, the first. That's how fast clarity can actually happen when we're accessing it rather than forcing it. Now, in the next video, I'm going to share with you why this doesn't always feel consistent and how you can get into a state where answers actually come through. And if you're here for this training, drop your name and where you're tuning in from in the comments. I want to know who's stepping in.
Why? Wow. You don't have to be blocked anymore, guys. Okay, come back to you. Okay. So that also reminds me, did you all notice you're watching on a new YouTube channel? We've created a brand new YouTube channel devoted to Akashic Answers with Emily. So please subscribe. And you're going to find this new experience. It's called the Start Here Experience in the playlist section. So I want to make sure that you guys all know that there is something super magical waiting for you. Okay. And I said that before we wrapped up this broadcast, I would let you know how you can dive in and learn to read the Akashic Records yourself. That's it. It's not only going to take you through a series of connection points in your Akash, you'll also arrive at an invitation to continue studying and training with me if that's the right next step for you. Okay? Because there is an opportunity to become certified in your Akashic Records and have the life-changing experience of reading your own Akashic Records in real time, understanding why you're still stuck in the traumas that you are and heal them. And also tap into your greater purpose, your genius here on the planet. All right. I love you guys. Thank you for being here. If this has served you, share it out with somebody who's important to you in your life. All right. And I'll see you back here next week.
My first experience with the Academy was a one-day workshop. And I made such a profound shift in that one day that I knew I would work with her. Working with Emily this week has been profound and amazing, and the way she presents it, if you listen, you get it.